Come on in, everyone. Come on in because we are here to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. And boy, was it juicy. It was juicy, y'all. It was juicy. Yo mama. Um, Shamea been playing the Dirty Dozens all season long with the likes of Angela, Drew, and everyone else. And we get to the end of the season. And finally she says, I'm tired of this, yo mama. Yo mama. Y'all, we done figured out this is some generational mess. We talking about, is it generational curses? Is it generational hoeing? Is it generational lying? Is it generational man stealing? All we know is generational. You know what? I've never been in agreement with both people when they're both fighting. I found myself agreeing with Shamea, but also agreeing with Porscha. Let me tell you something. Um, if I was Porscha and I knew the kind of bones that Shamea was carrying around in her back pocket, that at any moment she could let it out, I wouldn't want her on the show either. With a secret like that, why the hell would she want Shamea on this show? You talk about traitors. They in Scotland talking about the show Traitors. They took this to another level. They took it to another level altogether. What do they say? When you go low, I'm gonna take it to hell. Well, both these ladies took it to hell. We kind of find out that the whole mess between Shamea's mama and Portia's mama is they've been going low and going to hell with a back and forth for generations. And so when I say I'm with Porscha, not because I don't think that the real snake in the grass is Porscha. Oh yeah. I'm telling you, the generational mess when it comes to what Porscha said before, she better be careful before I F her husband, where she got that from. Where did she get that from? Okay. It's bringing a whole new meaning that when Porscha told Angela, she better be careful. When Porscha told anyone, you better be careful, I'll F your husband. Where she get that from? This is some stuff going on, y'all. I ain't never heard of no generational hoeing. But we got it. I said, Atlanta come up with everything. I tell you, Atlanta comes up with everything. And if it's true, which I believe is true, that this has been going on, what does Shamea say? Her parents been married for 50 years, and this goes back over 50 years. Atlanta been a mess for over 50 years. We thought it was something new. We thought it was just came alive in the last 10, 15, 20 years. Nah, this mess been going on for 50 years down in Atlanta. Didn't Shamea say she was born and raised in Atlanta? So this been going on for a lot of time, whole lot of time. But I tell you, I get it, Porscha. If somebody had some tea on me like this, some history on me like this, I wouldn't want her on the show either, because Porscha's an OG. She knows what happens when you get on shows like this. Even the best of friends, shows like this can rip you apart. Hell, this show has torn up every marriage that has ever been on this show, every marriage. So if it can tear down a marriage, what you think it's going to do to a friendship? And Shamea walking around talking about, I thought we was like sisters. No, the operative word, Shamea, is like sisters. You're not really sisters, okay? Like sisters. And just like you can be like sisters in day one, you cannot be like them the next day. This is a mess. Shamea should know better. This is why I'm saying I'm with Porscha, but what I'm with Shamea. But Shamea, I'm tired of Shamea's naivete. I'm really, really tired of it. I don't know why she hasn't seen the way Porscha plays when she don't get her way. You see how she threw that man Simon under the bus. I was wondering, Porscha divorced Simon so fast, I didn't even know why they got divorced. I still don't really know why. Is it because he got deported? Right? Once Porscha realizes you are a liability, that somehow you could bring harm unto her, or I don't know what it is, she get rid of you quick. So yeah, Yeah, Shamea, you got tossed aside. And I don't know why you still fighting to be friends with someone who don't want to fight with you. I'm really sick and tired of watching Shamea trying to hang on to people and friendships when those people don't really want to hang on to her. Okay. When Porsha said, I'll F your man, I'll steal your man. And now Porsha over here stealing Shamea's only one friend, which is Kelly. You see, I feel sorry for Shamea because her story is sad, y'all. It's a sad story that Shamea said, like K. Michelle said, that Kelly was her only friend. Now, let's get this right. Shamea has given Kelly a place to stay for free. You live in my townhouse. Then I set you up with a rich man. Okay, I do that for you. Probably gave you a little money too. And you mean to tell me that didn't buy your loyalty? That didn't buy your friendship? You mean to tell me you went right over there, sniffing up underneath the skirt of Porsha, and you threw Shamea under the bus? After everything she did for you. This is Shamea's life story. This is Shamea's life story of where she's saying money can't buy loyalty. Chris Brown told y'all, Shamea. Chris Brown said, hoes ain't loyal. Hoes ain't loyal. If you don't believe me, go listen to the Chris Brown song. He told you hoes ain't loyal. And let me tell you something. Kelly went up there, met that friend of yours, who more than likely, Gerald knows him too. And she said, thank you for the townhouse. Thank you for the man. But I need a job next year. And you can't get me that. You can't get me that. And what Porsha did was she did what she always does to steal a man, get a woman. She told them, I can give you everything you need. I can be whatever you need me to be, whatever you need me to be for you. You just need to come on over here. You just need to come on over here. And that's what she told Kelly when they were sitting around that bed. And Kelly was, what Porsha said to her was, listen, anything Shamea gives you, I can give you. She's not the only one that can give you stuff. She's not the only one that can do for you. She's not your only friend. Come on over here. Let sweet Porsha take care of you. Let sweet Porsha take care of you. Okay? I've said this over and over about Porsha. I don't hate Porsha. I just think she uses her talent in the wrong way. Hear me one more time. I think Porsha got a lot of talent. She's a charmer. She's charismatic. Even at the end of this episode, right? After all that thing went down, Porsha sat there at that table like she was a preacher in the pulpit at a church. And all them girls were sitting around talking about amen, amen, amen. Porsha talking about, I see the devilish and the hate in your eyes. And anybody that hates me that much, I wouldn't have my daughter around you. I agree, Porsha. I wouldn't have my daughter around Shamea either. But to flip it, but to the way you flip that portion, the way you got everybody around the table say, amen, amen into all that bullshit, girl. Like I said, she's talented. She is absolutely talented. And when she walks away, they're devastated. She uses her talent the wrong way. And I'm telling you, this is generational. This is generational. She didn't learn this on her own day one. This is generational. Okay? And I don't even know why Shamea would want to continue the generational curse. Your mama, Shamea, and Diane were in competition. They've been in competition for I don't know how long, 30, 40 years. They've been in competition. You and Porsha are in competition with each other. Why the hell would you want to put Pilar and your daughter, I forget her name, together so that the generational curse, the generational competition can go on another generation? What you want? You want Pilar 20 years down the line stealing your husband, your daughter's husband, sleeping with your daughter's husband? This is a hot mess. I don't even know why Shamea wants this. Like I said, she will hang on to something for far longer than she needs to, even though it's at her own detriment. It's sad to watch. We sad to watch. But anyway, Porsha stole Kelly, just like everything else going on here. And I know all you Porsha fans gonna get mad at me. I don't care. Y'all can call me ugly, whatever else you do. Your mama, like you do. That's what y'all do. When you can't argue the facts, you come down in my comments and you make your mama comments. Basically equivalent, girl, I'm way too old to be shaken by anything like that. But I know they're going to come, and they're going to come plenty, because Porsha got a lot of fans. Because I think what it is Porsha, people admire Porsha's talent. That's what I'm saying. I can look at a person, I can see their talent, but I can still say they don't use their talent for good. And that's what I'm going to say about Porsha. She don't use her talent for good. I mean, the way she's able to corral people, convince people to do things, forms of manipulation. I really wish she did it for something good. I really did. I really wish Porsha could use it for something good. But like I said, she's obsessed with using her body for everything. Once again, we still got to talk about more sexual innuendos. Phaedra talking about they introducing each other to all these black porn sites. And then Porsha comes in and lets us know that she figured out you can't watch it in the UK. Or no, I'm sorry. Phaedra figured out, as she went trying to sniff around and watch it, that you can't watch it in the UK because she was curious. She was bi-curious. And then there was Porsha who said, girl, you got to plan ahead for this kind of stuff. You got to download it, put it on your laptop, on your hard drive. And then you got to watch it privately. Porsha, let's just hope some of these countries that where it's illegal, let's hope they never find it on your laptop. Go to countries like Dubai, places like that. If it's illegal, it's even illegal for you to possess it on your laptop. But hey, you know what? Hey, I'm not here to educate people. Porsha can't. I mean, how long are they in Scotland for, y'all? Girl, you can't go to Scotland for a week without watching porn. It's given generational sexual obsessions. Like I told you, generational curses. It really is. But you know what? They had a little fun. They had a little fun learning how to play these games, tossing logs. And then Shamea makes a little corny joke talking about, I'm used to flipping big logs. Hey, Gerald. See, that's the reason why Shamea really can't get no fan base, because she's kind of corny. Just like it's just corny, right? She really is a fish out of water. Do I want Shamea on this show next year? I do. I want her on the show. I don't want her to be run off the show. But is it good for her to be on the show? I don't think it is. I don't think it's worth it. I like her on the show because she triggers all these ladies. She absolutely triggers these ladies. People want to know why they are piling on to Shamea. Shamea wants to say it's colorism. I've heard these things. It's color. It's not colorism, Shamea. It's classism. Okay? You have something that all these ladies on this show want, and that is a rich husband so that they don't have to work. They all want it. Now, does every woman in the street want it? No. Not everybody in the street wants what Shamea has, but these ladies do. All these ladies want what Shamea has. Shamea is the other on the show. Shamea keeps saying she's the other because she's the only dark-skinned girl, dark-skinned woman on the show. No, Shamea, you're not the other because you are dark-skinned. You are the other because what they believe is you can't relate to any of their lives. All of these ladies on here, besides Phaedra, right? And I don't want to even say Cynthia. They all got money troubles. Even Porsha got money troubles. Okay, she does. She got money troubles. They all got money troubles. So when you're on a show and the whole season is about bankruptcies and I can't make payroll, I can't pay my bills, I ain't got nowhere to live, I'm getting foreclosed on, I'm getting evicted from my house, you can't relate. Shamea, when the last time you've been poor? Never. Never, ever, ever have you been poor. You raised in a middle-class household, coming out of college. You've never been poor. You've never been poor. You've never been broke. You've never not been able to pay a bill. You've never been through a divorce. You've never had a lot of the things these ladies are going through. So you are an other. You even sat on here and said you've never even been with a woman. You the other, girl. It's not because you are dark skinned. It's because they can't relate to you. And listen, when there's a person on the show and you can't relate to them, they don't feel comfortable always sharing all they dirt and they blemishes. When you sitting up there pristine and untouched with a full bank account, no bounce checks, no foreclosures. Not only do you not have foreclosures, you got extra houses. Extra houses. They don't want you on the show. Okay? Now, but do I like you on the show because I like to see these ladies getting rattled? I do. They're all triggered. They are all piling on you. Absolutely. Do you do wrong stuff? You sure do. You do wrong stuff. But the level at which they come at you, yo mama. That's why you had to go to your mama. Because after a while, you was like, logic, nothing is happening. After a while, it's just yo mama. But they were playing these games. And these little Hunger Games, whatever you want to call them. Shamea better be happy that it wasn't the Hunger Games. And it was just throwing logs and throwing jackhammers or whatever you want to call them, hammers, you know. But Cynthia said she was trying to make up some new rules. And that man said, oh, why can't you just follow directions and listen to what I say? There you go. It took a Scotland man to shut a black woman up. And you black women talking about you don't want to date interracially because you don't think no man outside of your race can handle you. Well, that Scotland man handled Cynthia, basically told her, shut the hell up. Sure did. Told her to shut the hell up. But in the end, Porscha team won. Porscha said, how is it that I win and there ain't even no prize to win? Because Porscha, you a winner. This is why people love you. Porscha is a winner. Now, you may not like her means, her methods, how she gets there, but she's a winner in the end. Okay? And that's why a lot of people like Porscha, because they like to see a person winning at whatever they're doing. It don't even matter that some of the stuff they're doing is foul. They just like to see a person winning. But K. Michelle, she didn't participate in the games because K. Michelle said, I can't be falling on this manufactured ass I got because my health care don't work out here in the UK. Now, I got some travel insurance, but that's not going to pay if I start leaking out here in Scotland. So she said, I'm not playing nothing. So Team Sturdy won. All the sturdy ladies won. They won everything. And then next thing you know, Phaedra said, I'm going to reward y'all with a little treat, a little nice, some tea. And it wasn't tea and crumpets. It was tea and lamb's intestines. I was like, is that close to that? I was like, lamb's intestines, pig's intestines, chitlins. What was it called? Haggies, hoagies, hoggies. I don't know what it was called, but Porscha ate it. She said, I'm going to try it. She said, I've had worse things than this put in my mouth. I might as well try this. And Angela made her joke saying she didn't even know that Porscha had a gag reflex. She got a gag reflex. She got a gag reflex. That might be why she over there with Sway now. So she don't have to gag so much anymore. But when they're all sitting there and everything looks like it's going really well, Drew brings up that last night was so liberating and spiritual. Spiritual? Girl, what the hell are you talking about, Drew? Spiritual. Well, what's spiritual is the devil is about to enter the room. That's what's spiritual. It ain't no good spirits about to enter this room. The devil spirit is about to enter the room. And she talking about how she feels thankful and blessed that everybody's been turned around. And what Porscha said was, you go low, I go to hell. And what Porscha said, can't get you kicked off, Shamea, but I can steal everyone on this show from you because that's what I do. That's what I do, and that's how I do it well. And I have the power, and I'm going to steal Kelly from you. And you know what I'm saying? You know, what are they saying in the cheating world? Can't no woman steal your man unless he want to be gone. That's what they say, and I believe it. Can't no woman steal your man unless he wants to be stolen. And we know for sure that Kelly wants to be bought. Come on now. Do you really believe Kelly's going to resist being bought by Porscha? Absolutely not, because Kelly likes to be bought by everyone. And this little story about this man paying $70,000 for her smile, her teeth, I don't believe it. What I believe is she told him it cost $70,000 and she only paid the dentist $5,000, and the other $65,000 she went to go pay her bills with it. That's what I believe. There ain't no way Kelly took $70,000 and spent it all on her smile, her teeth. She lied to that man and told him that it cost more than what it did, and the rest of the money she went and paid for some other stuff. Listen, we all know the game. We may not play it. We may all choose not to play it, but Kelly's playing the game, and she's bought and paid for now by Porscha. And now that she's gotten from Shamea what she needs, which is a couple of free months rent and an introduction to a rich man, she's saying, now I got to secure my next season on the show, and I can't secure that with you, Shamea. So we're going to have to kick you to the curb. Kick you to the curb. And Porscha said, yeah, I made up with Kelly. We made up. We became friends even after she said I slept with every African in the whole Atlanta. Doesn't matter. I can make up with her. And Shamea is saying, well, isn't this ironic? You can make up with Kelly for calling you the biggest hoe in Atlanta, but you can't forgive me because I did what now? Say what now? All you folks have been watching Atlanta Housewives for season on season on season. Remind us one more time why Porscha was, before tonight, before this episode, so mad at Shamea, because Shamea revealed some private information about what Porscha and her divorce. Is that what the story is? That Shamea opened up her mouth and told something that Porscha really didn't want her to tell about her marriage? Is that what started it all? Y'all can bring it down in the chat. But whatever it was it big enough to kick Shamea to the curb like Porscha did? Remember, last season, y'all was calling Shamea Porscha's lapdog, which means Shamea was riding so hard for Porscha, even though when Porscha was wrong, that Shamea was picking fights, as y'all tell me, with Drew, because Porscha was fighting with Drew. So let me get this right. Shamea was a lapdog for Porscha, which means whatever Shamea said that upset Porscha, Shamea's actions were to always protect Porscha, to stick up for Porscha, to be her lapdog, and Shamea was going after other people who were attacking Porscha. But yet somehow or another, now Porscha got a problem with Shamea. Why? Because she was your lapdog? Or is it convenient for Porscha to say it's because you said something that I didn't want you to say, and now there's no forgiveness? And then isn't it ironic that everyone who Shamea was fighting with to protect Porscha, now Porscha has somehow now been able to patch up all those relationships. So you patched up your relationship, Porscha. Let me get this right. You patched up all your relationships with all the dogs that were attacking you last season. When everybody was coming for Porscha, you made friends with all your dogs that were attacking you. But the lap dog who was trying to protect you, but in protecting you, you said might have nipped you a little bit. That's the one you pushed to the side. No. That's why I know what Shamea said is the truth. Porscha did not want Shamea on this show because Shamea knows a lot of stuff about Porscha. She got a lot of bones that she can pull out. And I guarantee you this one bone about Porscha's mama trying to sleep with Shamea's daddy is not the only bone that she got. Okay? Porscha don't want Shamea to have a platform. She really doesn't want Shamea to have a platform. You see, And this is why I agree with Porsha. I agree with Porsha. If I'm in Porscha's shoes, if I am in Porscha's shoes, why the hell would I want Shamea on this show? I wouldn't. Okay. And then when I talk about generational curses, okay, first of all, if it's true, Shamea, that Porscha's mama tried to sleep with your daddy, why would you want to be friends with a person whose mama tried to sleep with your daddy? And then why would you want your daughter to be around them either? I don't get it. I don't get it. But see, Shamea don't learn from her past mistakes. Shamea doesn't learn from when people do her dirty. She just keeps coming back for more and more. This is why I agree with Porsha. And I'm going to make a distinction. I'm with Shamea on principle, but I'm with Porsha on strategy. Hear me one more time. I'm with Shamea on morality and principle, but I'm with Porsha on strategy. Because here's another thing I'm with Porsha on. If I'm talking about generational curses and we're talking about I'll F your man, I'll F your husband, why, Shamea, would you want to be with Porsha when she has blatantly told people that when she gets upset with people, she Fs their husbands? Why would you want that? Why are you fighting for her to be a friend of yours? Okay, let's take it one more further, generational. We know that Shamea's mama tried or did buy Diane's business, right? When it went belly up. So it sounds like what first came was the flirtation with Shamea's daddy. Let's just say the flirtation with Shamea's daddy came first. So that means in retaliation, the Christian lady, what she did was she went over there and says, you want to take my man? I'm going to take your money. I'm going to hit your pocketbook. I'm going to take from you what's valuable to you, in which, because Diane probably didn't have no man at the time. Well, she had a man. Porsha and Diane, they probably always had men, but she didn't have no husband at the time. So she said, I'm not going to take your husband or sleep with your husband. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit you in the pocketbooks and I'm going to make you lose some money and I'm going to steal your business out from under you. Now, let me go with the generational. What's Porscha's business? Real Housewives of Atlanta. Sure is. This is her business. Like she told Shamea, this is my livelihood. She said this is my friend group, but what she was trying to say is this is my livelihood. This is where I make my money. This is my business. Reality TV is my business. If I already know you and I got beef, everybody else, the world may not know it. Why the hell would I let you in on my business? This is why I'm with Porscha on strategy. But Shamea don't get it. Shamea don't get it. So you think, this is what I be telling Shamea. So what you think is we got generational beef between your mama, our mamas, and now me and you. And our friendship is already shaky. So what you think is I'm then going to invite you into my business. This is my business. This is my livelihood. Nah, we're going to keep this separate. Porscha tried to warn you, Shamea, but like I said, you don't know how to turn around and walk away. You hang on to places where you shouldn't. And so why would Porscha even take the risk that Shamea would come up in here and what? Try to steal her business? I've been hearing on the reunion, I haven't seen the previews, that Shamea didn't get first chair, and she should have. She should have. This whole season has been about Shamea. But guess what? That would look too much like Shamea coming up in here and taking Porscha's business. What would that look like? Andy Cohen, Porscha on one side, first chair. Shamea on second chair, first chair. That would look like Shamea done rolled up and bought my business just like her mama bought Miss Diane's business. So like I said, I agree with Shamea on morality and principle, but I agree with Porscha on strategy. I wouldn't want you in my business. I wouldn't want you on this show. I wouldn't want my daughter playing with your daughter. Why? Why? We already can trace back some of these jealousies going on. I've already said in my previous videos that you got the sexy vixen crew, which is Porscha and her mama, right? And you got the Shamea and her mama, which is they marry well and they're wholesome people, right? And you got the mama who I think loves the spotlight. I do. I think she likes the spotlight. She wants fame. You got Shamea wants fame. And you got Porsha and her mommy saying, I wish I had a man to pay these bills around here. Really. So, like I said, generational curses. I'm Porsha. I got a daughter. I already know the generational curses. Why would I want my daughter going over to Shamea's house so she can look around and go, I wish my daddy lived with me too. And I wish I lived in a big old mansion like this. Not the one we about to get evicted out of Simon's house. I wish we lived a big old. Why would I start wanting to create those same competition vibes between my daughter and your daughter, and we don't even get along? No, Shamea, Porsha, I'm with you on strategy. I am with you on strategy. But Shamea went over there and was telling her mama everybody's ganging up on her, right? Everybody's ganging up on her. Well, then you can leave, Shamea. If the heat is too hot in the kitchen, get out. What are you there for? What are you there for? Why are you still there? Why is it so important for you to stay there? You see what I'm saying? So Shamea don't want to admit that she's also does want what Porsha has. She wants it. She wants to be first chair. She wants to be the star of this show. She absolutely wants it. And Porsha says, over my dead body, will you get this, Shamea? I will turn everyone against you. Like Porsha said, until you do right by me, nothing good will come to you. Okay? And Porsha is laying it out there. But Drew and Porsha made up. Kelly and Porsha made up. And now Portia's out here playing chess. And Shamea is now resorted to having to play a Yo Mama. Even Pinky is getting in on it, talking to K. Michelle, saying it's a whole lot of weird energy around Shamea. It is energy around her. It's negative energy. Right? It's a lot of negative energy, not because Shamea is necessarily negative all by herself, but she out here fighting for her life. She is, but she don't have to. She could turn around and she could walk away. Sometimes Shamea needs to learn everything ain't worth fighting for. Everything ain't worth fighting for. And K. Michelle trying to act like she was such a loyal friend to Shamea. No, you really weren't, K. Michelle. No, you really weren't. Really, really loyal. I'm not saying you came straight for her neck, but you weren't really, really well. K. Michelle says she feels dismissed by Shamea when Shamea said Kelly was her only friend. Well, in the end, after they had that dinner and Shamea spilled everything about Porsha's mama, her mama, Kelly was the only one that went out to the car, consoled her, rode with her back out to the house. Let's see how that goes over with Porsha, Kelly. Let's see how she takes that. The fact that you left the group to go console Shamea. Let's see how she takes that. Pinky says Shamea is fighting everybody. There's a cloud over her. She's fighting all right. She is fighting for her life. But next thing you know, after Pinky's talking about the cloud over Shamea, she wake up with a cloud over her. Go figure. There you go. Worry about your own cloud. Worry about your own thunderstorm and lightning going on. And Pinky says she got lawsuits. She got judgments. $20,000 is gone in 24 hours. And she says people don't realize how much money it takes to run a business. We understand how much money it takes to run a business. I think you don't understand, Pinky. This is what I'm learning about Pinky. When I talk about talents and people who operate in their talent and people who operate out of their talent, I think what Pinky is, she's very talented in marketing and what she says, branding herself and creating an image, but she's not good at running day-to-day businesses. And I don't even think she likes to run it. That's why she went bankrupt. Because she built the business, she built the hype, she got everybody involved, she created the buzz, But the day in, the day out of running the business, she's not interested in that. She wants to be on TV. She wants to be, the brand, the face, right? And she just turned over her whole business to all these other people. She said it on the, what's his name? Funky Friday, Cam Newton interview. She basically admitted to the fact that she's branding, she's marketing. That's what she likes to do. Then she says, I hired these people to run my business. Well, you can't do that. You can't be hands off in your business. You wasn't looking at the check she was writing. So she run around here telling us, other people who are business people, talking about people don't realize how much money is required to run a business. No, we realize it, Pinky. And you sold a lot of, I don't want to call it a dream, okay? Because the definition of a business is not just if you have a lot of customers. It's not just if you have 15 locations, 10 locations, and you have $20 million in sales. It's, are you profitable? Okay? Anybody can start something and call it a business, but if you're not making any money, it ain't a business nobody want to invest in. So I really want Pinky to stop talking about her $100 million brand, her this, her that. Girl, you wasn't making money. That's what bankruptcy is. Your debts exceed your income, which means you were really good at the hype, right? It's no different from a concert promoter promoting a concert, saying we sold out Madison Square Garden, but by the time we paid all the dancers and the musicians and the lighting people in the venue, we didn't make no money. Oh my gosh. Go tell that to someone who doesn't know how to balance a checkbook, because Pinky, that ain't flying no more. And Angela running around talking about it's only money, Pinky. Why you crying over money? Says the girl, the lady who lost $2 million in real estate and was crying her own damn self. These ladies got a short memory, a short memory. Angela says that too much of Pinky's identity is wrapped up into her money and what money she makes. And what I'm going to say is a twist on that, Angela. Too much of her identity is wrapped up in her identity, because we're coming to find out that Pinky, her business wasn't solvent. She expanded way too much. She even explained to us that most of her money is actually in real estate. When she looked at her assets, her money was in real estate, not in the business operations itself. Now, that's a good thing. She bought property, had equity, all these other kind of things. It's a good thing. But in the end, all the money Pinky is saying that she made, or she has, or her net assets, it wasn't even in cash from her business. It was because she happened to buy some brick and mortar locations, and those brick and mortar locations appreciated. Well, real estate ain't even her business. So you made money another kind of way. And even that money wasn't good enough to pay all your bills. Pinky, I don't want to hear it no more. I really don't want to hear it no more. And Pinky says she's tired of everybody looking to her for the answers. Well, that's what they do when you're the head of a company. Who else they gonna turn to? Like I said, Pinky just want to be at the events. She want to be on stage. She wants the mic. She wants to be the face of it. Like she said, maybe she just needs to become the face of Go Naked Hair, because that's all I really want to do is be a brand ambassador. I really don't want to have to run no business, make no decisions. I'm actually tired of everybody coming to me to look for answers. Well, Pinky, what do you want? Last time you hired people to make the decisions, but they didn't make the decisions you thought they should make, and now you're in bankruptcy. Now what you're crying about is the fact that everybody's coming to you for the answers. Well, who the hell are they supposed to go to, Pinky? Pinky don't want to run no business. She ain't no real business person. What she is she's a marketing person. She's a branding person. She's an advertising person, which that in itself is a business. But she don't want to run no day-to-day operations. So I think this idea of franchising is a good thing, because she can go out and sell franchises, but she don't actually have to run no restaurants, because I actually don't think she's probably good at that. I don't think she is. But she said she almost lost her husband because she wasn't having no sex because she was uptight. She said she ain't been spending enough time with her kids. She said all this money is just caused a big problem in her relationship, maybe before. But now I think she said it's back on track. But I hope she walks in her talent. Do like Porsha. Porsha's walking in her talent. Now, like I said, she using it for the bad, but she walking in her talent. Pinky, you need to walk in your talent, but don't try to do more than what you can do. Really don't try to do more than what you can do. So in the end, like I said, Kelly jumped ship. She's over there on the Porscha train. And Shamea is saying, I just introduced you to a whole rich man. You know how many women out here are trying to meet a rich man? And she handed Kelly one on a silver platter. And within 2 months, Kelly was over there licking the kitty cat of Porscha, saying, you want me to lick you anywhere else? Do you want me to lick you anywhere else? But I tell you, when they start playing those down to it, and well, before they got there, they went to go look at these kilts. I tell you, it's these little subtle things that happen. Do you guys remember the part where they went and looked at kilts, and Kelly, of all people, was putting extra stuff on the table, saying, do we have a budget? Can we get anything we want? I tell you that Kelly, she's a taker. Okay, she's a taker, all right. This is why Kelly and Porscha aren't going to get along, because in the end, Porscha's a taker, and Porscha ain't going to put up with this. Porscha's really only tolerating Kelly to pull her away from Shamea. But the minute she does that, Kelly will be collateral damage. Because one thing I know is two takers, they don't do well together. And Kelly is absolutely a taker. Absolutely. And so she sat up there and told Porscha, can I get anything else? And then Shamea said, yeah, put mine on your tab too, Porscha, because you've done it to me plenty of times. Which what she's saying is, Porscha, plenty of times you told me to put something on my tab and you never paid me back. That's what Shamea was saying. Plenty of times we were out and you say, hey, put it on your tab and I'll cash app you, I'll Zelle you. And Porscha never did it because Porscha is a taker. She absolutely is. But like I said, Shamea got a whole lot of bitterness. She's got a whole lot of resentment built up. The dark cloud, Kelly, that K. Michelle is talking about, is the cloud of resentment. It's the cloud when you do for others, but yet they give you back a fraction of what you do to them. So you become angry, you become bitter. But in the end, people have to take responsibility for if you overgive. And Shamea overgives. So she can sit around and be mad at Kelly. She can sit around and be mad at Porscha because they've given a fraction to what she's given them in the friendship. But in the end, Shamea, it's your fault that you didn't cut it off. It's your fault. And now here it happened again with Kelly. Are you going to learn? Are you going to learn? Shamea needs to go to therapy, and she needs to figure out where she learned this from. She need to go figure out how she was indoctrinated to overgive to others, so much so that even when they betray her, she doesn't stop giving, she still gives, but sits there in frustration and anguish about why they can't care for her like she cares for them. Where does this come from, Shamea? It's come from your childhood. I suspect it comes from her mother relationship with her mother. Like I said, I think her mama is attention hungry. I do. And I think that growing up, Shamea had to cater to that. As a child, had to cater to her mother's need for attention. And so what Shamea has grown up with is being comfortable with catering to other people's needs all the time at the detriment of her own, right? That also can make you not really appreciate the marriage she has with Gerald. Most people say, girl, why can't you just go sit down and be happy that your man provides for you the way that he does? Because when you've been taught that what love looks like is you working hard for love, right? You've been taught that I got to do a whole lot of stuff for you in order for you to love me. You don't trust love when the person says you ain't got to do nothing and I'll just love you. You say, wait a minute, no, I don't. What's this system? The system where I don't have to do nothing special and you still gonna love me? Like her husband is trying to tell her, girl, sit down, relax, I got you. That don't feel comfortable for Shamea. Shamea likes to work for love. And that's why she wanted to do this rum company. So she said, I can retire Gerald. What the hell? Retire Gerald. Gerald didn't even ask for you to retire him because Shamea wants to feel like I worked for your love because that's what she's been taught. So she repeats it in her friendships and everywhere else. She repeats it. She likes to work for love. This is why she can't rest in her own husband's love because he's loving her in a different kind of way. It's a way that it ain't enough for her. It ain't enough for her. Now, at the end of this show, Shamea started talking about trying to read Porsha, saying Porsha just wants everyone to like her. This is what she said. Porsha just wants everyone to like her. So she'll do anything to be liked. And I said, oh, Shamea, you're projecting. That ain't even Porsha's game. That ain't Porsha's game. Porsha don't want everybody to like her just to like her. Okay? Porsha only likes people to like her so Porsha can get from those people what she wants. Totally different game, Shamea. That's what I said. Shamea don't really understand the game. She thinks she do. She don't understand it. Porsha likes you to like her so she can extract from you. But Shamea, you're the one who likes everybody to like them. That's why you're still fighting to be on this show. You fighting for the audience to like you. You fighting for this girl group to like you. You fighting for people to like you. You projected on the Porsha your own problems. Your own problems. No, you're the one that likes everybody to like you because that's how you like to work for love and you like to work for acceptance. This is why you always jumping around, trying to jump in front of the camera, like the spotlight, because you like people to like you. Porsha, on the other hand, she likes all that attention so she can extract from you. If Porsha doesn't feel there's anything to get from you, Porsha don't spend no time trying to make you like her. Not at all, girl. Not at all. Just like right now, she's done with you. She is done with you. It's over. It's over, Shamea. There ain't no coming back from this. And you ought to say thank you to Porsha. You really ought to say thank you because Porsha's really doing you a favor. She's doing you a favor. This is what I mean by people who overgive. Even when the people who are extracting from you cut you off as the overgiver, you don't look at it as a gift to you. Porsha's giving you a gift, Shamea. Take it. Take it. But instead, you crying, talking about how can you forgive Kelly and you can't forgive me. You better be thankful for the gift that Porsha is giving you. She's cutting you loose. She's letting you go. She's freeing your daughter from these generational curses that might be going on. Pinky later on is singing a few bars after Drew says she's dropping a new CD with Ray J. And next thing you know, Pinky is singing. Like I said, Pinky can do everything but balance a checkbook. She can sing. She can be a brand ambassador. She can market. She can do all that. She can do everything except what it takes to be a CEO or a CFO. Woo, 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 woo. But Drew was dropping some tea. Drew was telling Porsha, hey, I had a private convo with Dennis, and he misses you. He really does. And he's feeling some kind of way about you dating Sway. And like I said, Porsha said, I don't care. I don't care. Because what Porsha really wanted from Dennis, she got it 8 years ago, and that was a baby. Porsha told us all. Porsha said that when she met Dennis and she found out he owned his own business, a hot dog stand, she said, my legs did this. Give me a baby. She got what she wanted from Dennis. She don't want no more. Porsha don't want to be married to Dennis. Porsha don't want to be in a relationship with Dennis. None of that. Porsha got what she wanted from Dennis. He was a man that didn't have any kids by another person. He had enough means to help her support her daughter. And she got what she wanted. She's getting what she wants now. He's a good father. They co-parent well. and she's going to do whatever it takes to keep that co-parenting relationship well. But any hopes of anything else, Dennis, it ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen. Not at all. Not at all. But what else happened? What else happened? What else do I have to talk about? This whole dinner was a big mess. Oh, the part about when Shamea said to Porsha, yeah, you didn't even want our kids to play together no more. I agree. I agree. Strategy, strategy, strategy. I agree with you, Porsha. I agree with you, Porsha. And I don't even know why Shamea would force that. Why would you force that? Your daughter can get other friends. You know, your daughter can get other friends. She'll be okay. She'll figure it out. Maybe start teaching her those lessons now so that she'll be equipped, so that maybe she'll be better equipped for life and friendships than you are, Shamea. Don't teach your daughter to do what you're doing, okay? Don't try to make her you a 2.0. Like I said, I agree with Porscha's strategy. I really do agree with her strategy. But I tell you this, when Shamea did drop that note, one of the telltale signs when I knew Porscha already knew this, where she goes, there it is. There it is. Because what she said, this is the moment I've been waiting for since the day you walked on this set. I knew this day would come. I knew the day would come where it didn't matter what type of friends we were, that you would drop that secret about me when things got really, really rough on you. And what Porscha said was, there it is right there. There it is right there. And Shamea dropped that, your mama on me, just like Porscha knew it was happening. That's why Porscha never wanted her on the show. Never wanted her on the show. But Porscha said, I saw the devil in her eyes. I saw that look, just like I saw it when I divorced Simon and my ex-husband. Well, Porscha, you got to remember what you did to them too. Porscha act like the devil just come for her. No, the devil came, but the devil also comes in retaliation to what you were doing. But Porscha acts like she's just an innocent person out here and she don't do nothing to people. And all of a sudden the devilish ways comes out of these people and attacks her. Like I said, I agree with your strategy, but you're not on the higher moral ground. You're not. But if I were you, Porscha, I would do the same thing you're doing. Nope. Nope. We need to have a clean break. We need to cut this generational curse off, and we need to go ahead and go on our separate ways. It'll be interesting to see what Bravo does. Will Bravo bring Shamea back, or will all the ladies say, it's so bad, none of us want to film with Shamea? And if nobody wants to film with Shamea, it's going to be hard for her to be on the show. And do you want Shamea to bring in her own friend so she'll have a friend? No, because all Porscha going to try to do is F them too. All Porscha going to do is try to F them any kind of way possible too. Any kind of way possible. But I don't know. Some people were probably sad to see how muddy and how dirty these ladies got down in the dirt. But I wasn't. I didn't have no problem with watching it. I really didn't. I was just happy to finally hear what's really behind all this. And do I believe that little story with Porscha talking about your mama slept with your daddy's brother? No, I don't believe it. I don't believe any of that. I really don't. But it was interesting to hear what she was saying was that back in the day, Diane was dating Shamea's husband's brother. So talk about generations. If we look at this generational pattern, didn't Shamea help facilitate the introduction of Porscha and Simon? Now, I know Porscha met Simon at Fallon's house, but Simon and Gerald are also friends. So there could be a story to tell that Shamea helps facilitates coupling up within her friend groups. Introduce Kelly to a friend, introduce Porscha to different Africans because Gerald's African. What if back in the day, that's the same thing Shamea's mom would be doing, introducing her friends to people. Diane running around ain't got no man. She got body for days, but she ain't got no man. Shamea's mom says, you ought to meet my boyfriend's brother. What if that's a story? So Shamea and her mama got this history of what? Pairing people up? I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happened. I know they know each other. Is that when they met because they were both dating brothers? Or was Shamea's mom already with the brother? I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. Don't be getting mad down in the comments. None of this may make any sense. But I tell you what, there's a whole lot of generational messes going on with these two families. A whole lot. And I bet you as we listen more and more and more, we'll find more similarities. So, Porscha, your strategy is right. Cut it off. Cut it off. Don't let this go on to Pilar and Shiloh. Not Shiloh. Is that her name? Shiloh. Don't let this go on to another generation. I may not know how it all happened, but I know it needs to end. I may not know how it all happened, but I know it needs to end. And Shamea needs to stop running around asking, why can't these hoes be loyal? Hoes can't be loyal because hoes are loyal to the game. They're not loyal to you. They're loyal to the game, Shamea. You confused. You really, really confused. So I don't even know why you devastated. Like Porscha said, Shamea, you and your mama is like yesterday's trash. I've thrown you out. There ain't no coming back from this. No coming back from it. And I'm happy for that. I'm happy for that. Let the generational curse end today. That's all I got, y'all. Talk to you later. Bye.